Hi, it's Jehovah's Witnesses, and anybody who's watching my videos. Thank you very much. I get lovely comments, occasionally very mean comments from current Jehovah's Witnesses. I love those too. I love those downvotes. Thumbs down, okay. That's what I want to see because I know that's Jehovah's Witnesses watching. Thanks again for all my views. It's fantastic, and I'm really chuffed for it. Chuffed is a Northern Irish word for we're very pleased. Okay. New topic today. I think you're going to enjoy it. Kingdom Hall scandals. Did you have one? Did you? We did too. I know, it's brilliant, isn't it? We love gossiping as Jehovah's Witnesses, so let's do a bit of gossiping below and find out what happened in your Kingdom Hall. And remember, these are God's chosen people, okay? They're the ones surviving Armageddon, guys, okay? So I'm going to start with my own experience. I started this thread. We had an elder leaves alcoholic wife. He then stole and shacked up with his transsexual daughter's female partner. He was then DF'd and has now returned to Jehovah with three or four, I think, new kids. And his new wife and him are both devout Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, more joy with one sheep returning, etc., etc. Anyway, I thought that would win. How wrong I was, because apparently all congregations are just as bad. Okay. Oh, I've got another one, another entry for my one. We had a paedophile couple in my own congregation who came straight to our hall from prison in England. They were completely, it was completely untold to us. Nobody told us anything about them. I remember them myself, although I'd forgotten for years all about them. We only found out that they were who they were and what they'd done because the parole officer came to visit them in their hostel. Found children playing in their house, which of course was completely against the law, and they had been babysitting Jehovah's Witness kids. No, the elders did not feel that was necessary to tell us. Okay, let's get to it for some of the more local ones. We had a wife swapping thing going on in my hall. An elder left his wife and entire life to move in with his boyfriend. It was me. Good for you. I have a teenage girl came forward with her dad raped her all the time. Oh, that's lovely. Dear me. We all had lots of good old cases of wife swapping. What all didn't? We had two elders who built millions out of an old lady and then went to prison. I actually read about that recently. Oh my God, you scumbags. And of course, we had our paedophiles and rapists paroled straight out of prison and to your door. Straight from prison to your door in one easy serving. With no warning given to the householders or to the congregants. Because, you know, you just don't have the Holy Spirit enough, guys, to deserve it, okay? The Theocratic Ministry School overseer in my hall slept with a married mom. They've both been reinstated. The overseer was and still is married to the same person. Same thing for the mom. Oh, that must make embarrassing meetings, mustn't it? Hopefully one of them switched congregations. Oh my goodness, and here's somebody's written, makes the cups left unwashed after hall cleaning on June 94 seem quite trivial now reading these. Absolutely. This one was after I left, but allegedly one of the elders in our hall was slowly poisoning his wife to death. Only someone eventually took her to the doctor and it was discovered. We never found out what happened. Poisoning your wife to death. Good Lord, it's like the Sixth Sense all over again. We had a messed up family in our congregation and the girls were kept running away. It turned out that the dad and her brothers were raping her and her sisters. Poor girl was viewed as a bad association. The dad was a full sick pedo that got off on teaching his sons to rape their own sisters. Good Lord almighty, can you believe that? We had a brother that would show up unannounced at the homes of young sisters and want to do stuff on their bodies. Depends on what stuff they wanted to do. I mean, I've got to be honest, as a young brother, I wanted to do stuff on plenty of young sisters' bodies. It seldom was encouraged, though. He never came when the sisters' husbands were home. I bet he fucking didn't. Oh dear. And he wasn't licensed. How do you be licensed to be a sexual offender? Soon all the young sisters avoided him. Good girls. He was talked to, but he still persisted. He had a great gig going, a way to touch young sisters' bodies and get up close and personal. I'm sure he thought he was just helping them, okay? There was a man in the congregation, he and his wife, at the time were in their mid-30s. He obsessed over a 14-year-old girl, left his wife and tried to run away with her. The girl was an early bloomer. Apparently she had big boobies. But she was 14, right? The elders, in their infinite wisdom, decided it was all her fault because of her breasts. Girls, have I not told you, okay? You are not good enough in the truth, right? You're always to blame, all right? It's always your fault. And if you didn't scream, you're getting disfellowshipped, okay? They hounded her and her family because they were absolutely convinced that she purposely grew her boobs just to tempt men and that poor Carl just went crazy. In the end, her family were pariahs, even though she wasn't DF'd, disfellowshipped. The elders browbeat his wife into taking him back, and he never even got a slap on the wrist. Tremendous. Okay. We had more than one. There's a photo in the Live Forever book of a few witnesses entering a kingdom hall. That's my hall. 4 of the people in the photo were 2 married couples who left their religion with each other's mates. The painting of the earth in that book was made by Jim Martin, one of our Bethelites, and hangs on the wall behind the platform in the kingdom hall. The other scandals was that one of our elders was eventually busted for molesting his daughters in a case not dissimilar to BCG in the RC inquiry. Oh, that's the Australian inquiry, where they were looking into Jehovah's Witness child abuse, which was horrendous, and I urge you to look into it. Someone left naked photos in the leftover magazines in our hall. Could you see their face? Whew. Thank God. An elder had an affair with a single... wasn't me. An elder had an affair with a single mother in our congregation. He got this fellowship, but later instated. We had about 7 or 8 elders. They all got removed except one. There was lots of garbage going on. There was a lifetime pioneer sister who was into homeopathic practices and muscle testing. The elders deemed this satanic. Without consulting the Watchtower, and she was marked and unable to pioneer. Shortly after, they got into trouble for this decision. She was free and clear. Well, homeopathy is still bullshit, but it's none of their business. That's bullshit. Such drama. They had to move in new elders. Yeah, that happens when it's really bad. Kick the lot out and bring in a whole bunch of new ones. There was an elder in our congregation who married a wonderful woman for years, and then it come out that he owned a whole second family with wife and kids. I can barely manage my own family and wife and kids. Jeez, imagine taking 2 on. There's another person who says the usual wife swapping and adultery, and then there was this guy who actually hired a man to trick his wife into committing adultery. He got found out and disfellowshipped. Imagine paying for someone to shag your wife. Good Lord. That's how screwed up the Jehovah's Witnesses make you. Can't just leave her. He has to pay a man to shag his wife. Sorry, funny noises come out of me when I read these things. An elder in my hall had the prettiest and most talented submissive wife. He was also having a secret affair with a raggedy single sister, pioneer sister, for years. The wife got hip, and he was also beating his wife. She had a beautiful home, walked away for it all, moved to Hawaii with one of her grown daughters. They eventually divorced. Raggedy pioneer sister moved into beautiful house, but now the elder whips her ass. Karma. How about the elder gets someone to whip his ass? That'd be real fucking karma, wouldn't it? Scumbag. An elder ran off with one of our publisher's wives, married her and had 2 kids, but still never ceased being a prominent member of the congregation. He was rich as hell, and all the elders, including the district overseers, sucked up to him. It was all about the money. Jeez, she fell off the face of the earth. I'm sure she did. Anybody we got else? I was in my teens in the Olive congregation in Bakersfield, Canada. California. Shout out to you Californians. My kids are going to California. My daughter, she's going to California in December. She is. She got in the premiere. She's got a part in a movie called A Christmas Star. That would totally get her to fellowship. And she's only 7, and she's been invited to the premiere in California, in LA. So I can't go because I'm too poor. But she is, along with my wife, and it's going to be awesome. Anyway, so where were we? Oh yes, so I was in my teens in the Olive congregation of Bakersfield, California. My friend's mom, a long-time pioneer, ran off with an elder in the neighbouring congregation. He had a teenage daughter and a dying wife. That's lovely, isn't it? Don't even wait for her to die. No, just go ahead. Love of Jehovah. It's so strong in the congregations, isn't it? One of the elders who disfellowshipped me in Provo, Utah, left his sweet wife for a loud, obnoxious single mom in our hall. This was just weeks after my committee hearing. 2 couples traded wives. Interesting. The stuff you hear through the grapevine is pretty interesting. For example, a scandal started a few years ago, dressed in goth. Oh, sorry. I started a scandal, a few years ago, because I dressed in goth at a convention. I sent an apology email to New York to my only relative in the org a couple of hours ago, and she said she didn't associate with people who pass out bad information about Jehovah at conventions. Excuse me, I didn't pass anything out, and the brothers who stopped me to ask who I was clearly told me that I didn't. What good would it do anyway? So obviously word had gotten around that I was a bad guy. Well, that's just life. He did go as a goth, right? It's a bit of a funky look, kiddo. Okay. We got a presiding over who got busted for picking up a guy in a bathroom. Looked pretty tame. I think that guy might be on this site, actually. He's mentioned this before. He's out too. And then they kept... everyone knew about the bathroom. Doesn't make it any more dramatic that this elder's wife is both blind and deaf. Yeah, it doesn't make it any better. And then they kept it a secret, and he stepped down from being presiding overseer, but remained an elder while they had someone come down from New York to play presiding overseer temporarily. So he didn't even get removed completely. Whoa, let me tell you, that's a good one, isn't it? Okay, the scandal in our circuit, says this person, was the married elder with grown kids who studied alone with a married woman with 2 daughters and ended up in bed with her. It all blew up, and the woman's husband, being a cop, used lots of legal channels and even involved the media. They divorced, and the adulterers married and later split. It all happened before I came in. Tell you, people just don't know what they're supposed to feel in this org. Absolutely. You know, the thing is, if people are all bottled up and their relationships aren't going to work in the first place, and then you say to them, well, you can't divorce, well, bad things like this come from it. Not the paedophile stuff, that's just, sick, however you cut it. But people should be able to just end relationships that aren't working for them, even if that makes them a scumbag. At least it doesn't make them a hypocritical scumbag. Let's back to the gossip, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? I thought of one. A beautiful young married mom of 5 and a regular pioneer slept with one of her Bible studies. I think it went on for a while before she was found out. Bet she counted all her time too. I bet you she did. Dear me. Holy crap. I knew shit went on in different congregations, but I didn't realise that the Borg organisation was just one big patent place. I don't get that analogy. Somebody explain that to me below, please. Shortly after leaving San Francisco in 72, I got a call from a friend. She said, guess who just got DF'd? A guy called Julius' husband. He was presiding overseer of the mission congregation. Everyone was shocked. See, people get disfellowship. Who knows they got disfellowship for? Maybe he was an apostate too. On and off, JW and our family had 3 children. The daughter, who I don't think was baptized, killed her boyfriend and his father and shot herself. The mother would visit her all the time, but she sadly had no brain function. Years later, the baptized son, who was also inactive, attacked an elderly couple, killing his wife. That is very sad. A JW couple in a neighbouring area had 2 sons who resented their parents' authority. They became neo-Nazi skinheads and murdered their parents. One of the boys has since been baptized in prison as a JW. Now, I think I know this story, and I think that's the Menendez brothers. If that is the Menendez brothers, here's a question for you, Jehovah's Witnesses. We hear a lot about Michael Jackson being a sort of witness. We hear a lot about Prince. We hear a lot about Venus Williams. We hear that guy who sings with what do you call him? The Shadows in England, the guitarist. We hear a lot of like the semi-positive stuff, right? Take away Michael Jackson. But we don't hear about the Menendez brothers. You should be bigging them up, the Menendez brothers. They're out there doing their thing in maximum security, spreading Jehovah's word. Maybe that's why they killed their parents. Maybe Jehovah needed them to go to maximum security. Have you thought about that? Can you imagine his book study on his meeting on Thursdays night? Yes, Brother Menendez. Did you have a point? I kept my mom's brains underneath my bathtub. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, but seriously, that is sick. Okay. And then there was Christian Longo, the disfellowshipped psychopath who murdered his wife and 3 children on the Oregon coast. Now, was he a psychopath because he was disfellowshipped, or was he disfellowshipped for being a psychopath? We're going to have to find out about that. I think we have the jury's out on whether that's just crazy Jehovah's Witnesses, because they maybe got rid of him just on time, did they? Jonathan Holt, a couple of years ago in Oregon, raped and murdered a teenage woman who was also a fellow JW. The congregation elders tried to diss him off as a regular. A regular. I was pretty irregular towards the end, but I still would have been a Jehovah's Witness if I'd raped and murdered someone. Good Lord. I'm going to stop this video now and crack on with one more because I'm going to break it into 2. Far too much for one sitting. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. Part 2 follows on shortly. Bye-bye.